Hello, my beautiful fragrant friends. Today is the day. Today is Thursday, November 21st. And guess what? My fragrance collaboration with Navitus Parfums, which has literally been a year in the making, is going to be ready for purchase or ready for pre-purchase on November 25th, which is next Monday. I just got an email from Navitus that said, Chris, your perfume is going to be ready on Monday, November 25th. Are you going to be ready? And I said, you better believe it. So today is the day I'm going to be able to reveal the name of my perfume and all of the notes that are in. I'm going to tell you a little bit about, well, I'm going to tell you a lot about my perfume today. And then on the release day, I'm going to give you a little bit more details. There's going to be some sort of discount and some sort of, free gift with purchase that they will let me know about on Sunday. And the bottle design will be ready on that day. So I will be able to share that with you guys Monday on release day. But today I'm going to tell you all about the name. I'm going to tell you about the process. I'm going to tell you about a little bit of the behind the scenes. And of course, the notes in my fragrance. I'm so excited, I'm nervous. So the name of my collaboration, the name of my perfume is Vanilla Éclat, and Éclat in French can translate into many things. Brilliant and bursting. So my fragrance is bursting with vanilla, I think, but it is a super unique vanilla. And the reason why it took so long to come to market and be ready for release is because I wanted this to be really special. When I was approached by the head of Navitus literally a year ago, we talked about some things and some of my ideas. And at that time, I wanted to create a signature scent, and I was thinking like a signature vanilla. And as time went on and as some of the modifications were coming to light, I realized that what I really wanted to do was something unique. I wanted to do something that hasn't been done a ton of times, and to create a signature vanilla, that's a little bit hard. There are a lot of good fragrances, good signature scent vanillas that I just didn't want to repeat. I wanted, above all, to make a fragrance that was unique to me and very unique. And I have to hand it to the people at Navitus. They never told me, make a fragrance that sells, make something that has vanilla, make sure that it has notes that people like. They literally told me, do what you want, create what you want. And I found that tremendously liberating. And I knew that my perfume was going to have two things. I knew it was going to have rice, and I knew it was going to have vanilla. So just some behind the scenes process of how this works, at least with Navitus. After the initial meet and greet, they have you write up a brief, which is basically a business plan. It is what your ideas are, your thoughts are, some of the fragrance notes that you want to be included in a perfume that you would like to have created, some fragrances that you love, some fragrances you don't like, some of the notes you don't like. So you generate this paper, it's called a brief, and you hand it to the perfumers. And it basically is like going to a painter and saying, dear sir, dear painter, I want you to paint me a picture of the beach, but I'd like you to have maybe a little lighthouse in the background. I want some birds flying. So you give the artist what your vision is, and they turn that into a work of art. And in this situation, a beautiful perfume. So we went through several modifications to kind of tweak the recipe to get closer to what I was envisioning. And let me tell you, the very final modification, when I got this in the mail, I knew this was the one. Christian Provenzano, the master perfumer, did an amazing job taking my vision and creating an amazing perfume. So I would describe this perfume as a warm, spicy, cozy, slightly sweet, vanillic, woody fragrance. Now, if you're sensitive to vanilla, if you're sensitive to gourmand, you might think this a little bit more vanillic than I do. But what I have found, Mr. Picky Pat, I knew he probably wouldn't like the perfume because I knew it was going to have vanilla. But shockingly, what I have found, and I found with Picky Pat, after the first maybe 20, 30 seconds where it opens very, very sweet, it really moves away from being an overt gourmand vanilla. And that's when all the magic and the yumminess happens, the originality happens. So for the official note breakdown, we have basmati rice, Sicilian bergamot, coconut cream. For the mid notes, we have Sri Lankan cinnamon. There's caramel, some warm spices, and buttermilk. And for the base, we have Sri Lankan sandalwood. We have Gaiac wood from Paraguay, Madagascan vanilla, and musk. So those are the official notes of the fragrance. Now it sounds like with all those sweet notes, the coconut cream, the buttermilk, the vanilla, this might be an overly sweet fragrance. And there's no doubt that it's a vanillic fragrance, but let me tell you that basmati rice has such a beautiful basmati rice accord. So the basmati note to me is very, very prominent. I would say particularly in the opening and in the dry down, but it blends so seamlessly with the other notes. Oh my gosh, this is the epitome of a warm fragrance. And I will tell you, even though my goal was originally to do something like a year-round fragrance, in the end, I just wanted something that was super original. And when I smelled this, I was like, this is it. This is warm and cozy. I would wear this throughout the year, except in the middle of the summer. I wouldn't wear this in the heat of the summer during the day, maybe at night after a bath in the air conditioning. But this is a great fragrance. This is a fabulous fragrance to wear in the fall, in the winter, and in the transitional months, in the spring before it gets too hot. I have not been able to go a day without wearing it. I've been trying not to spray too much because I wasn't sure when I would get my full bottle, but I've been wearing it every day. And let me tell you, this is a brand new scent. When we finally got to the point where we knew this was the modification, it would be a go, they were like all hands on deck. So they are currently bottling it as I film this, and they're gonna have it ready in, like I said, 4 or 5 days. So it is a brand new scent. And I know over time it will just get even better, which I find hard to believe because this really is what I had envisioned it to be. And I will even tell you, once I got to the point where I thought this was a go and I felt super comfortable with it, I took it to work, and I was driving to work, and I remember thinking, all my friends, my coworkers, they're a good representation of the outside world. Almost always when I wear something, half of them are gonna like it and half of them are gonna dislike it. And that's okay. It is so rare that all of my coworkers, all of my friends like the same thing. I can think of maybe a handful of perfumes that fall in that category. So even though I loved it, but when I was driving into work and I thought, if nobody likes it, it probably isn't gonna be a go. I'm gonna be super happy if half of the people that I try it on enjoy it. And I did this blindly. I cannot tell you how excited I was that every single person except one either liked it or loved it. And I'm including my friends who do not like gourmand fragrances. I do not know how Mr. Provenzano pulled that off, but he pulled off the impossible, creating a gourmand for people who in general don't like gourmands, with Picky Pat being number one. And he would never lie to me. He would never tell me he liked something when he didn't. Again, he doesn't love the first 20, 30 seconds. He says it comes out too sweet. And I've had a couple people who loved it on me, didn't like it from the atomizer. They thought it was too sweet. And I'm like, I always tell people, you can't judge a fragrance from the atomizer. You cannot do that. So I tried it. I literally have tried it on 26 people, and every single one of them, like I said, either liked it or loved it, except for one person. And of course it was Cheyenne. Now she said, I don't hate it, but it doesn't smell like Grandma Grandpa. So coming from Cheyenne, who is my absolute harshest critic, who tells me I always smell like a grandma and grandpa no matter what I'm wearing, that was actually a huge compliment, but I didn't quite win her over. So of course, like all perfumes, not everybody's gonna love it, but I was shocked how many people embraced it when I thought at least half of them wouldn't like it. So for the wearing, when I spray about 6 to 8 times, I have a very strong scent bubble for the first like 3-4 hours. And in fact, when people walk into my room, they smell it immediately. They don't smell me down the hall, but they smell it when they come in my office. At about hour 5, 6, 7, it has a very tight scent bubble when I think it's gone, but then I'm moving my hand around or moving around and I'll catch a whiff of it very close. And then around maybe hour 8 to 9, it becomes a skin scent. And that means you can really only smell it when you put your nose right in it. However, I will say on clothing, it lasts till the next day. I'll pick up an item of clothing that I had sprayed on the day before, and I can still smell it when I put my nose into it. And again, being a brand new perfume, I imagine that it will only get better with time. So I wanted to put this video out a few days ahead of the actual release time to let you guys know the notes, what it smells like, experiences with it, the name. And then on November 25th, I will again release another video that will tell you a little bit more of the nitty-gritty, the details, the discount code, and there's some sort of free with purchase special that will be happening. So thanks guys for opening up this thumbnail. I can't wait for you guys to experience it. Let me know in the comments below, was this a surprise? Were any of the notes surprised? And I know you guys were shocked that incense isn't in here. Maybe on the next one, let's see. Well, if this one bombs, there will be no next one, but if I were to create another 2 more fragrances, I can imagine in my head the direction I would go, and I would go very differently. And as far as the candles that I am burning behind me, I've got Monte Casanade to my right, and I've got this cute little travel set, the new travel set from Navitus. I have Ambrosia Imperial and another one, the tiny cute Monte Cassonade. Let me tell, it smells great in this room. I'm really smelling Monte Cassonade. I've burnt it before. It smells exactly like the perfume. It is a very well made candle. I know this because I used to make candles, and it has a really good, nice hot scent throw. So if you're really into candles, I highly recommend checking out the line. They did a really good job. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you again in another 3-4 days.